Ranked choice voting in the city of Macomb, Illinois. A path for a renewal of the democratic process. Within the historical and contemporary conduction of the electoral voting process within the United States, one thing has held certain for a vast majority of the voting methods in the varied jurisdictions within. That being the ever so present system of first past the post, also known as FPTP. First past the post is a method of voting in this country which has been responsible for the electoral results of unpopular candidates and parties coming into office when the aforementioned subjects may not have received a majority of the vote at all. This creates scenarios in which a majority of the voting population not having cast a ballot for the soon-to-be incumbent candidate-elect, institutionalizing rule by a vote of the plurality, not the majority. According to political scientist Dr. Andrew Eggers at the University of Chicago and economist Dr. Laurent Boutin at Georgetown University, replacing current methods of electing officials in the U.S. with ranked choice voting, RCV, would make it more likely that broadly popular candidates would be elected. It would also give voters more choice, allow voters to express their preferences more fully and honestly, produce less polarized and negative political competition, and encourage the election of women and minority candidates. This would allow for more instances in which candidates are increasingly representative of the background and beliefs of the increasingly diverse pool of the electoral population. According to research from the Electoral Knowledge Network, the plurality majority system of first past the post excludes minority parties from fair representation, excludes ethnic and religious minorities also from fair representation, excludes women from the legislature, leaves a large number of wasted votes, is unresponsive to changes in public opinion, and is open to the manipulation of electoral boundaries. As a result of the aforementioned issues with the first past the post system, I am proposing a reasonable implementation effort to ratify a ranked choice voting electoral process in the city of Macomb, Illinois for municipal level elections. Ranked choice voting is the process of voting in statewide elections in Alaska and Maine. Implementing this system on the local level is a doable goal. The Macomb City Council meets on the first and third Mondays of each month. By gauging the sentiment towards the implementation of ranked choice voting amongst the councilors, petitioning the constituents of Macomb, verbal advocacy and debate, and initializing prospective legislative working group sessions, this is realistically attainable. Many Americans in different types of voting jurisdictions, from small cities to states, have now moved to a ranked choice voting system, with 80% or more of Americans feeling concerned about the threat they feel is present to the U.S. democratic system. This is an opportunity to harness this sentiment into a productive and democratizing initiative. The implementation of such a ranked choice voting system would not only assist in the democratization of local elections, but also decrease the occurrence of policy volatility we observe too often in modern American politics. Examples of voter jurisdictions which implemented RCV in Brazil clearly showcase this. An instance showcased that, quote, candidates in runoff municipalities spread spending more broadly across schools, presumably in an attempt to be more competitive in the second round. Distributing spending more widely can be seen as similar to adopting a more moderate political platform, reducing potential political polarization in this instance and prospective others. An example cited from the National Public Radio, in 1941, Cambridge, Massachusetts adopted the voting method for its city council elections, and San Francisco has been voting that way since the early 2000s. Historical and contemporary examples again show us that the initiatives such as these are possible if we stand firm in what we believe in debates, produce convincing and compelling arguments to local government, and showcase to constituents the power of the American voter in improving the democracy of the local community. We can get it done together. When I think back on the Benjamin Franklin quote, "A republic, if you can keep it," I think often, as I begin this initiative, we can have representative elections if you can fight for it. Thank you.